Hey everyone, so today with our tutorial with XOD, we're going to be looking at using some of the hardware libraries that is included with the program. You can see down here that we have a sensor hooked up. This is an ultrasonic rangefinder. And then we have an SD card reader with an 8 gig card. And it's all plugged into the Arduino right now. I'm not going to wire this up in front of you guys. As you can see, it's already pre-wired. It would just take too long to do it on camera. But I'll go through how it's all wired. The rangefinder that we're going to be using is an HCSR04. And the SD card reader is, I don't think it even has a number on it. It's just a generic card reader. Most of them work the same, and you'll see how they work whenever we start getting into this. But if you look on the ultrasonic rangefinder, if it'll focus. Okay. So you should see that you have power, trigger, echo, and ground. There's only 4 wires that go to this. So the power and ground I've got going to this rail in the back that is powered from the 5 volt on the Arduino. The trigger and echo is plugged into pins 2 and 3. Now on the SD card reader, these are usually wired up in the same way across all Arduinos. There's 4 wires that you have to hook up for signal and 2 for power. Once you have the 2 power hooked in, depending on the Arduino that you're using, on the Uno, I'm using the Mega, so I'm using pins 50, 51, 52, and 53. They are located right back here. And on the Arduino Uno, the pins that you're going to want to use is 10, 11, 12, and 13. You'll see there is some writing down here. The SS or CS, the cable select, or I'm sorry, chip select, that can be thrown into any pin. That is the only one that's variable. All the rest have to be inserted into the other pins. You have the MOSI and then the MISO. The MOSI will be plugged into pin 51, and the MISO will be plugged into pin 50, and then the SCK pin will be plugged into pin 52. If you're using the Uno, the CS or the SS pin will be plugged into 10, the MOSI will be plugged into 11, the MISO will be plugged into 12, and the SCK will be plugged into 13. And then, like I said, the other 2 pins on there is for power. I've got a small 8 gig SD card sitting in there now, a micro SD card. So we are ready to start using this and see what we can come up with. So the first thing we're going to look at is this ultrasonic rangefinder. The way it works is that it emits an ultrasonic sound pulse out, and then once it bounces off something, it picks it up here and it measures the distance based on how long it took for the sound to travel back and forth. So in here in XOD, we are going to look through the common hardware, and we have 2 entries for the HCSR04 ultrasonic rangefinder. You have the range and the time, so you can choose whether or not which node you need. If you want to get the range as the output in meters, or if you want to get the time. So we're going to be working with the range. Now the trigger is on 2, and the echo is on 3. And that's really all we have to set. Now this ultrasonic rangefinder will or should be working. It's not going to report any values anywhere at the moment because we don't have that set up. Like it won't dump it to the SD card yet. But as of right now, if we were to upload this, that should be working. Now this is one of the spots that I think this particular program is going to excel. And be a hindrance at the same time, is the ease of use when it comes to these hardware libraries. How I just drug it in, got it set up in a second, and it's ready to go. The downside of it is that it is not easy to put in your own libraries. So if you don't have any programming experience, then you're just going to have to rely on the guys over at XOD to implement whatever hardware that you're looking for. But since we have no way at the moment to watch the output of this node, we're going to use what is called the watch node. Now, this is probably one of the most helpful nodes in the entire program. You just drag it into here, And what it'll do is it will watch the value, and it'll display it here, of whatever is plugged into it. In order for this to work, whenever you upload the Arduino, if you come up to deploy and upload to Arduino, you have to make sure that this debug after upload is checked, because if it's not going to report anything. So let's go ahead and get this uploaded. Due to how long it takes for this to actually upload to my Arduino, I'm going to just skip past this to whenever it's finished. Okay, so now that it is uploaded, you can see that there is a number in the watch node, and it's changing. I'm actually sitting in front of this ultrasonic rangefinder, and as I move back and forth, you can see it shift. This is being output in meters. Like at the moment, it's 0.4 to 0.5. That's, about a half a meter. Now, like I said, this is actually working as it should be. But we want to do something a little bit more than just watch the output of this. We want to record it, and that's what the SD card is here for. So in the hardware, we need to grab the SD card node. And on this, it is called SD log. Now, on this node, as soon as, I wanted to mention as well, as soon as you change something on here, it stops the debug mode. But as you can see on the Arduino, the lines are flickering because it's still reporting over serial for the watch node. So that's kind of something that you need to keep in mind, is that the Arduino doesn't necessarily get the hint whenever you stop debugging. That also means that if you're sending a finished program to the Arduino, you want to make sure that debug is not selected. Otherwise, it's going to be constantly trying to output over the serial. But on this SD log, like I said before, the only pin that is really variable is going to be the chip select pin. And on mine, I've got mine just set to the default at 53. And now, another thing to keep in mind when it comes to this SD log is that the output of this is an error output. It gives you a true or false depending on whether or not it had any issues writing to the SD card. It's kind of backwards from what you think, because it reports false if it was successfully written, and reports true if it was unsuccessful. I think the mindset behind that was throw true if there is an error, and throw false if there's no error. But it's just kind of backwards to me from what I would think would be the output of whether or not there was an error. We have the CS selected, or manually put in, so we don't need to add anything to that. The file name, we want to go ahead and make that just log. So whenever it writes the SD card, writes the file to the SD card, it's just going to call it log. Now line is going to be what is actually thrown into that file. So we want to put the output of this rangefinder here into line. And we're going to put this watch on the error part of the SD card to determine if whether or not we have any problems writing to the SD card. Now, just having this output to the line of the SD card is not going to actually do anything. You have to send the data, and then you have to pulse on this last pin, the W, in order for it to perform the open, write, flush, and close. So in order to do that, we will add in a pulse on change. Let me find it here. Pulse on change. So whenever the number in the rangefinder changes, it will pulse to the SD card and write the data to it. And this really should be all that we need at the moment to get something written to this SD card. The way I'm going to be reading off the SD card is right off to the side here. I've got a USB SD card reader. So I'll just plug it into that, and then we'll pull it up within Windows to see what it writes. I'm going to go ahead and upload this to the Arduino using the debug after upload. Now, another thing that you can also do, because a lot of times whenever I'm looking to watch a value, I will forget to check that debug after upload. You can also come down here. There's two buttons. The lightning bolt will just upload to the Arduino. the bug will upload with the debug after upload already checked for you. So if you're doing a lot of just prototyping and messing around, it's nice to use that button often. But once this is done uploading, we'll pick it back up and then let this run for a little bit so we can write to the log of the SD card. Okay, so it was successfully uploaded, and we're getting a true on the output. This means that it had encountered an error. If you look over here, it says output's false if the last write was successful. Set to true if an error occurred. So whenever I was playing around with this before, oftentimes what I had found is I would get an error. Like if I pulled the SD card out right now, there would be nothing on it because it's getting an error writing to it. But whenever I would unplug the Arduino and plug it back in, for whatever reason, it would start working. So I'm going to give that a shot real quick. It will stop the debugging process, but we will see if it's actually going to write. We're not going to know if it's writing. If, since the debug is no longer working, but we'll let it fire up, let it run for a few seconds, and then we'll put the SD card into the reader and see what it's writing. Okay, that should have been long enough for it to write something. So let's pull this card out, put it in the reader. Okay, and as you can see, it didn't actually write anything. So let's put this card back in. And let's plug the Arduino back in. Okay, so that jump cut that I would have just made was a bit longer than what it may seemed. I was playing around with this and just could not figure out why this was not working, and so I unplugged the Arduino and reseated all the cables, and that seemed to have made the difference. So I guess I had a loose connection in there. But now that it is actually working, you see that it's reporting false. And with this running right now, this has been writing to the SD card the entire time. So let's go ahead and unplug the Arduino and plug this SD card in to see what it is full of. There we go. So you see that there is a file in there called log. And if we open it up, you see it is full of the various ranges. Right now it's writing, I think, probably every 60 to 80 milliseconds, so there's a lot of readings in there. It's a lot the same because I'm sitting in front of the thing, and it just varies a little bit as I move back and forth while talking. Let's go ahead and delete this. And while these numbers are good, you've got it logging now. It's better to have a little bit more information, a little bit more context to what these numbers actually mean. So what we are going to add is a timer. This way we can see the distance at what second of uptime. So you will use the timer here. There's not really a whole lot that we have to do with this. Now we need to add the output of the rangefinder and the output of the timer together. So for that, we are going to use concat. We're going to use number 3. so we can have the input, and then the second one we will just make a space dash space. Now, before I tried using a space dash space, and it didn't work. It gave me a true in the SD log. That could be because of the characters it's not able to write, or what, or that could have been due to that finicky loose connection that I must have. So we will see. We're going to connect the output here, so it's going to give us the time, or the uptime in seconds, and then it'll have a space dash space, and then it will give us the range, and then we will put the output at line. Oh, we gotta delete that one first, then put the output. And I've got to put the SD card back in. Oop. And plug the Arduino back in. And we're going to upload. Now, because the previous script was loaded on here, the beginning of the log is going to be filled with just the single numbers, because as soon as I turned it on, it started logging. We'll see how this works. Okay, so it is reporting true, which I kind of expected. Like I said, the last time I tried to use this, it didn't work, but I was hoping that it was just due to that loose connection. But I'm just going to use a single space. That'll give us at least some sort of separation in there, and we're going to upload it again. Okay, so now that it's done uploading, it's reporting false, which means that we are getting writes to the SD card. We're going to go ahead and let this run for a minute, and we will turn it off and take a look at the SD. In fact, you know what? That's probably long enough for us to get readings on there. So let's take this out, put it in here. So here's the log file. Let's take a look at it. You can see here that it is taking the readings as it should be. It gives us the uptime on the left since the Arduino is turned on, and it gives us the current distance the rangefinder is reading at that time. Now, you could further iterate on this to make it cleaner, nicer to look at by concatenating multiple strings together. You know, you could label everything and get a really nice log going by running through this method. So in future videos that I will be making tutorials on in XOD, we will be looking at increasingly more complex things, such as creating nodes, adding in libraries, things like that. So in the future, some of these videos might be kind of lengthy. But in the meantime, if there's something you guys want to see specifically, just put it down in the comments. You can also visit the forum. Over there, they are taking suggestions as to what hardware that needs to be added into the program. So if there's certain pieces of hardware that you really like to use that isn't in here, heading over there and giving them the suggestion is how to get it in here. As usual, I will put all of the links down below, and until next time.